So if you're trying to lean down but you don't want to lose any muscle mass as a natural, this video is for you. Follow these 5 tips. I'll give you a bonus one, a 6th tip. Follow and listen till the end. Trust me guys, it will be a game changer for you and it will prevent you losing a lot of muscle mass, alright? We see it all the time. I see it, natural lifters that as soon as they start to cut down, whether it's for a bodybuilding competition or just because they want to get in shape for summer, they lose a lot of that muscle mass and they look pretty skinny after finishing that cut, alright? Because they lose muscle mass. So we're caught up into this, either we're bulking and we're pretty heavy but the body fat percentage is pretty high, or as soon as they started shredding down, they lose a lot of muscles. But that won't be your case because I'll give you my tips, things that help me, I help my clients to prevent muscle loss. Alright, let's jump straight into it. And I am emphasizing naturals because for naturals it's a lot easier to lose muscle mass, alright? It's a no-brainer, everybody knows it. So we gotta make sure that we're preserving that muscle as much as possible. And it's also gonna help us in the process of burning fat, because more muscles, metabolism is higher, you're burning more calories daily, so you don't need to eat less or move more because you have more muscles, but you still do need to eat less than you burn. Yeah, so let's jump straight into it. Number 1, do not cut too fast. Don't go on a lean journey too fast. Don't try to get shredded too fast. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people after 6 months or a year of training, they want to get shredded very fast. Alright, it's just not enough to help you build that mass. You want to make sure the foundation is built. You want to make sure you have good quality weight on and good muscle on. Alright, it's not just putting weight on. It's not because you've been training for 2 years and you gained 40 pounds that all those 40 pounds are muscles. Alright, a lot of times as soon as you start cutting, you'll be ending up with a lot of surprises that will make you realize that most of that weight was water, carbs, and fat. Alright, so make sure that you take your time and you put that foundation, you put that solid weight on before going on a cut. And a lot of times it means delaying that cut for a little while. Alright, so that's tip number 1, but doesn't mean that I'm encouraging dirty bulking. Not at all. I'm just encouraging take your time and make sure that you give it time. Alright, you do the time to put that quality weight on before cutting too fast, because you will get surprised. First cut I did, I'm like, where are my muscles? Thank God, now that I'm cutting, well, I've been training for over 13 years and now that I'm cutting, I still do feel skinny. So I can only imagine people cutting after a year or 2. Alright, so that was tip number 1. Tip number 2, keep the protein intake high. Even when you're leaning down, when you're cutting, keep that protein intake high and actually increase it from your bulking diet. The protein intake, guys, has to be as high as you want. Like, it's not really a problem if you're eating 2 grams per pound. It's not really an issue if you're used to eating, let's say, 1 gram per pound. But now that you're gonna drop your carbs, drop those fats, increase the protein. First of all, it will help you maintain that muscle mass, but also it will help you satiate you. Alright, protein is very satiating. It will also help you increase your metabolism. So it has a lot of advantages. Just the fact of increasing your protein. Now that I'm cutting down, guys, I don't know if I would be able to do it with a lower protein intake, because every time I'm hungry, I make sure, let's say, I'll eat a bit more chicken breast or a little bit more ground beef or a little bit more Greek yogurt, and that's what helped me stay full. Alright, so it fills you up. So keep that protein intake high, and of course it will help you maintain that muscle mass, keep the testosterone high, and a lot of great things associated with an increase of protein. Moving on, number 3, keep carbs moderate and around your training session. So it's 2 points. First thing, keep carbs moderate. Today I was actually watching a Jay Cutler video from his Olympia, and he said that he did 20 days lower than 50 grams of carbs. 20 days just before the show. Alright, so why people cut their carbs down? Because carbs will hold on to a lot of water, and when we're trying to cut down, we gotta lower those carbs. But there's a little kind of trap that naturals don't want to fall in, because as a natural, as soon as you lower those carbs, you will start feeling flat a lot faster, and you will not be able to function as well as someone that is enhanced on a low carb diet. Alright, now all the keto fanatics will tell me, well, I'm on keto, I feel good, this and that. Yes, but if you're on keto and you feel good, the fat intake is still pretty high, and it's just another diet. It's not that you're just doing protein. You also have a higher fat intake, which we're trying to avoid on a cut, because the fat, it's still high calories. So you gotta understand, it's not keto that I'm hating on, but I'm saying don't go low fat low carbs and high protein, because as soon as you drop your carbs as a naturals, you'll feel flat. It will impact your hormones, it will impact your energy, it will impact every single thing you do, your muscle mass. You will definitely start shrinking some muscles, and your body will go into catabolism a lot easier than someone that is enhanced. All right, if you've seen Jay Cutler, or I don't know, your favorite IFBB pro doing it, doesn't mean that it will work for you going that low of carbs, and it will not necessarily get you shredded, but might get you losing a lot of muscle mass. So you want to find that sweet spot for carbs. For me at the moment is 150 grams, and I'm still shredding down slowly, but the slower the better, especially for us naturals. We don't want to go too fast, because then we will risk losing muscle mass. All right, so take your time, keep carbs moderate, don't eliminate them, because carbs hold on to water. Less carbs, less water, your muscle will feel flat, less endurance, you'll be able to perform less at the gym, and you go in that vicious cycle that just leads to loss of muscle mass. So that was number two. Number one. Number two is keep them around your training sessions. Let's say you have 150 grams to eat. Make sure that 80% of those 150, which let's say it's 120 grams of the day that you're allowed to eat, are around pre and post workout. All right, pre-workout meal, you want to fuel your body. You want to make sure you're putting those that fuel and that carb before driving it, fill up that muscle glycogen and giving you energy to perform at the gym. Because we got to remember, the goal is preserving muscle mass, which means we got to keep lifting. We got to kind of convince our body to maintain that muscle. How do you do that? Not by running. By running, you actually convince your body of getting rid of your muscle, because you're running, muscle need a lot of oxygen and nutrients, so your body will be like, it's not good for survival. But if you're lifting and you're pushing yourself at the gym, then the body will be like, you know what, I need those muscles because John is killing it at the gym. So we gotta maintain them and preserve them. All right, so pre-workout and post-workout, for two reasons. First of all, to regenerate muscle glycogen. All right, studies have shown that, I don't like saying this word, studies have shown, but guys, just have your carbs post-workout. You will replenish those muscle glycogen. Why wait? You just trained, you just destroyed those muscles at the gym. Having the carbs post-workout will help with recovery, will help bring also the nutrients, which will be your salt, your water, your protein, your carbs, etc. And it will lower your stress. Training and being in a deficit and being on a diet stresses your body. Stress, cortisol levels are up. As soon as you give your body carbs, what happens? Carbs, insulin. All right, carbs means, okay, let's go a bit deeper. So insulin, basically, it's a hormone that will stock things. All right, so as soon as you have your carbs, insulin will go up. Your body will release insulin to take those carbs and shoot them in the muscle. So as soon as insulin goes up, cortisol will have to drop down. Cortisol is stress, so stress will drop down. When cortisol is high very frequently, it leads to a loss of muscle, breaking down muscle. You're in this fight or flight mode. Your body is stressed, so your body will start breaking down tissue to produce energy to get you out of that stressful situation, because your body reacts as if you're fighting with a lion in the jungle. So, oh, I need energy. Let's break down tissue. Cortisol is up. Cortisol break down things. It will take the muscle and fat and turn it into blood sugar. So now your blood sugar is high, so you can run. But there's no stressful position. There's nothing really stressful going on in real life. It's just that you worked out and now your body is tired. And how you avoid to stay in this frequently stressed position: carbs, increase insulin, feed your body, give your body those proteins, that carbs, and boom, you go into that recovery time and your body feels rested and released. It's crazy, yeah? I just wanted to say 5 points, but I keep talking and go into other points. Let me know if you guys like what I'm saying, because if you just want me to simplify things, I can absolutely do it. And guys, thank you all for all the support, all the comments. I love you all, seriously. My YouTube is my #1 priority now, and just to you right now watching, leaving a comment, a thumbs up, just leave a thumbs up in my comment section, will help me promote, maybe get the algorithm going and people watching more of my videos, and hopefully I can do this full time. I just want to be shooting content, giving you guys as much value as possible, and hopefully if I can start making a little bit of money from this channel, I want to hire someone that follows me, doing my groceries, my cooking, my training, traveling, showing you guys a little bit deeper about my lifestyle and how to get in your best shape, all right, without really suffering. Moving on. Number 4, separate cardio and training as much as possible. I'm looking on the left because that's where my notes are. So separate training and cardio as much as possible. You don't want to do your cardio before training. That's the worst thing. Don't do that. You don't want to do your cardio right after training without eating. So if that's your only case, have a shake and a post-workout carb that digests fast, and then do your cardio. But ideally separate them as much as possible. Training in the morning, cardio in the evening, because then like we were talking about stress, we're not stressing the body too much too long. All right. Yeah, and if you have no choice, do the cardio after the training. Make sure you have your post-workout shake right after, and you want to make sure it's a low intensity cardio, low impact cardio. Again, going back to stress, I can do 20,000 steps and burn 1,000 calories, or I can do an hour on the Stepmaster, insane intensity, and burn 1,000 calories. What's better? The 20,000 steps. What is less time, more time efficient? Of course, the Stepmaster, but that's where your battle will be. All right, do you want something time efficient? Go for the Stepmaster. But guys, keep the cardio as low intensity as possible. You don't want to overstress your body, and you want to make sure you keep that energy for your lifting sessions. Don't go all crazy on the cardio. I love steps. John Jewett, who is an IFBB pro competing on the Olympia, I believe most of his cardio were steps, all right? It was just increasing steps, going for 10-minute walks. Staniferding, big fan of the 10-minute walks. And I actually learned from those guys, you know, everything that I say. It's not that I'm reinventing the wheel. I just look at what worked. I listen to a few people and I kind of make my own method. I try it out. Guys, I've tried many things, and one thing that really helped me get shredded is doing a lot of cardio, a lot of steps, let's say minimum 15,000 a day, and making sure that my diet as well, of course. But in terms of cardio, I'm not a big fan of the running, the high intensity, the sprints and all that, especially for naturals. All right, you want to keep stress low, you don't want to go into catabolism, and you want to keep it as low impact as possible. Numero 5, heavy lifting. Guys, you got to keep the heavy lifting. There is value in strength as a natural lifter, especially when you're trying to get shredded. There is a very importance for you to keep lifting heavy. Don't just go on the gym and be like, oh my god, I gotta do another workout. Let me go on the chest press and do just 12 reps on the machine, and then let me go on the lat machine and just do 12 reps and just really kind of half doing it, just going up for the pump. You will lose muscle mass this way. If you want to make sure you're maintaining, you got to keep lifting heavy. Doesn't necessarily mean all your sets have to be heavy. Of course, you're cutting down, risk of injury is high, but at least keep a few sets where you're pushing the weight a little bit. And this is something that I didn't want to believe, but now that I'm prepping for my show, my coach also taught me this. Is like, keep that. I prefer you do 5 reps heavier weight than doing, let's say, 15 or 12 reps with a lighter weight. And I'm seeing it. It's so easy to lose muscle mass, and when you're lifting heavy, you're kind of forcing your body to keep that strength up, and keeping that strength up will lead to keeping that muscle mass up. Now, number 6 is creatine. Guys, don't skip on the creatine. Oh my god, I did many videos. As soon as I say creatine, I kind of remember all the time that I've been talking about creatine, and people still choose to cut creatine when they're dieting down. Why? Because I'm holding into water. Because then, well, that's what you want. Stop fearing holding into water. You want to lose fat. You don't want to lose water. If you're prepping for a show or a photo shoot, okay, cut it down few days before when you're kind of depleting and doing a water cut, but not now, not in the first weeks, not in the most part of it. You want to make sure there's still water. Creatine and sodium have to stay high, especially when you're cutting down, because that's all you have to keep those muscles full. All right, imagine going in a deficit, low carbs, no creatine, no sodium. Oh my god, that's step number 7, another bonus. Sodium. Keep that sodium high, guys. Keep the salt high. Don't fear it. You want to make sure your body keeps retaining water, and that intracellular water, you actually want it. You want it. It will prevent injury, keep endurance high, help you keep pushing at the gym, and will do wonders for you. So that's pretty much it for this video. Please consider leaving a like, comment, share it with a friend. And guys, everybody supporting my channel. Really love you guys. Really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Leave an emoji of the country you're watching from. And give me ideas for the next videos. I'll see you soon. Ciao.